Alright, so how is everyone doing? Is everybody doing okay? Sorry for the slight delay. I had to get some things together here. Y'all let me know if you can hear me. If I need to turn it up or turn the music down in the background, what have you. So I will be doing one of these little kits from Jason. I think this was his first kit that he did. And it's two kits in one, but I'm gonna just do the walls on this one here. I already got my stuff braced on the back sides. And I'm gonna just show y'all how I do it. Ask questions, do whatever you want to do, just don't get naked. Alright, so I got some tools here that I typically use. I use a utility knife. I got a steel brush right here. I got my pounce wheel. I think that's what that's called. I think that's all I'm gonna use for right now, and then we'll figure out the rest. I think I'll do some staining and color on these too. We'll try and keep this around an hour or so, and we'll see what we get. I appreciate all y'all for hanging out and coming in here. See if I can zoom in here without shaking the camera too bad. And we'll just start with this one here. So these are clapboard walls. And you can see like the little grooves. And you always want to feel and see what side they're kind of like overlapping each other. And where the groove is, that's typically the bottom part of it. So with all that, I get my pounce wheel and I do the nail holes first. So that's what this is for. It's a little from Excel. They come in like a 3-pack, and I use the middle one. So there's like a large, medium, and small, and I use the small, or the medium one, I'm sorry. And here's where you have to, do just a little bit of research and kind of understand how structures are built. It's 16 on center. It's typically how we build houses now with like the studs. I'm not going to put that many in here. I'll probably just put 3. But what I'm trying to do and show is that the clapboards are nailed into 2x4s. And since I have these somewhat spaced, like one on each side and then one in the center, which is not quite center, but I'm gonna just roll this up here. And I'm not gonna like use a guide or anything as far as a ruler. I'm gonna use my mat board and just put this side of the building against the straight line, and I'm gonna just try my best to stay straight going up along there. And then I'm gonna go in the middle. And then I'm gonna go on the other side. don't know if that's going to be able to be seen on camera. Oh yeah, there we go. So you can see like the little holes that it puts in there. It's like it's been nailed, right? And what's cool about that is when you put the stain over there, the little holes soak up some of that stain too, so it actually looks like, you know, it's been nailed. And then you can go a step further and put little rust where those nails have been. And then I'll just take my knife and so each clapboard, you know, has its own line, and I'll take my knife and kind of just gently, I'll use the weight of the knife, and I may press down just a little bit, but I'll just go across really light a couple of times on each clapboard. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to cut some of these and I want to be able to lift them up. And this is just helping cut that wood so it doesn't, when I do lift it, it doesn't lift anything else up. I hope y'all doing all right, man. COVID is still among us. I just had COVID, when was it? A couple weeks ago? Maybe a month ago now. And I am recovering, but it's not fun. All right, so I've done that a couple of times. Is it? Oh, the camera, yeah. All right, so I went over these a couple of times. Let's see how my hand is clear. Let's see. And so what I'm going to do here is just take a chunk. I wish I can get closer so I can show y'all this the proper way, but I'm just taking a small little chunk out of the bottom, and I'll pull it up to the camera so you can see it. And because I cut along that clapboard the first time, it's allowing me to pill up like I want to. Let's see. All right, there we go. You see that little chunk right there that I pulled out? And it's because I took my knife and just ran along each clapboard like that. And then I've done the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And then so I'll just take my knife and I'll just carve little divots in there, or, you know, like the wood has been broken all along the bottom, especially the bottom, because that's where I want a lot of that damage to be. Because I think the way Jason has this kit is that it's sitting on top of stone walls, and they're older buildings, so, you know, they probably didn't have lumber treated wood and the proper sealing for wood so it wouldn't get rotted. So and then also it could just have sat out there forever and now it's just rotted. If y'all follow me on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, you know I love doing rotted stuff, so everything on my layout is rotted. And then sometimes I'll just take really big chunks out. There's no real rhyme or reason why I do what I do. I just look at a lot of rusted stuff and weathered stuff, and I just try and mimic that. So if I pull it up a little further, you can see it's starting to get chewed out a lot, right? And because I have these nail holes on each side, I can like put a really hard line down the center with my knife, and then I'll flip a board out or two. And it's the same process mainly, is just putting that knife and letting the weight of the knife do most of the work, because I don't want to go through this. And then I'll go to the next one. And here is where, let's see, the center where my nail hole is. And then I'll just take the knife and really dig in there so I can flip this board up. And I'll get to the side. And I'm being very careful, one, so I don't cut myself, but if I hadn't cut this, there's a risk of this looking like this, the chewed up part, and I don't want it to. So see how that lifted up like that? And we can break that off. I don't mind. Happy accident. But you can see how that board has been lifted up. And then I'll probably do a few like up around here. Maybe not all the way to the top, because it's more weathered obviously towards the bottom. And then we can do the side. You don't want too many of these little frays hanging out. I mean, some of them make it look pretty cool, like the wood is really just barely hanging on, but you don't want too many of them down there. I'm gonna do another one here. And then, so we have, starting to look like something, right? We got some stuff rotting down here. We got some clapboards that are raised up, looking pretty struggly. And then I'll take it and I'll get my knife and just start pushing out chunks along the side. If it breaks, I don't mind. It's broke a little bit. I'll gouge all in this thing and just start removing little onion layers of this clapboard off of here. Again, I don't want to go all the way through unless I purposely want a hole in the wall. I just take my time and peel like an onion. Let's see if I can do that up close here. So I have my knife in here like that, and it's just, see how that little piece just peeled up like that? And I'll do that all the way, maybe midway through this wall. See if I can do another one here. And it's just a little onion skin is what I look at it as, that type of thinness. And then I'll take some more off this side here. So I mean, what I'm really doing is just the first step, if you will, in weathering. I know there's many ways to skin a cat, and I would never skin my cat, but did any of you guys go to Massachusetts or Springfield, Massachusetts, to the train show? I feel like I need to go next time. I didn't realize how big this train show was, so I'll put it on my calendar, and hopefully we'll get to meet up in person or something. Hey Wayman, hope you're doing well. It's been a while. Cool. What's going on, Brandon? Hey, what's up, Mike? The NMRA, sir, it's cool, man. I got the first one, the structure part out of the way. And is it passed? Or I got my certification for the structure part, which was really stressful. I'm working on a video now for that, but yeah, it was a tad bit stressful, man. Towards the middle. I definitely learned a lot from the guys that actually judged my stuff. And yeah, I guess I'll go next time for some more punishment. The next one I'm gonna do is the cars. So I'm gonna build some box cars and flat cars from scratch. All right, and here I'm lifting up another clapboard. And so yeah, you know, this and then the other three, I'll do the same exact way, and just keep taking off more to where there's no, I guess there is a stopping point, because like I said, I don't want to go through here, but until I'm satisfied, I guess, with what it looks like from here, then we can move on, I guess. But before that, I take my, I have a steel brush, and you can get these from, what's the place? Harbor Freights. Harbor Freights is such a great little spot for cheap, but effective tools. Like they're cheap, but they last a decent amount of time. I always feel like I'm King Richard when I go in there with my little bit of money. I come out with a lot of stuff and I didn't spend a lot. Unlike if I go to like the big box guys, Home Depot and Lowe's, I just may come out with one thing. But here, I think they come in like a 3 or 4 or 5 pack or something. And it's just this steel brush, the steel teeth or bristles. And I'll just rub it across with a little bit of force, because I want that wood grain to get in there. I'm not too concerned with the bottom, because the bottom has already been destroyed. And because I pushed those down, I'll just lift them up real quick, just lightly. And I'm not sure if that grain is going to even show up on here, but it does leave little indentations of like wood. Let's see, can I get in close? That's not gonna let me get too close. But I think I'm happy with that. And then so I don't think I'm gonna paint this. My next step would be to stain this. So I'm gonna grab some stains real quick that I got up here. And I have a go-to stain. So I have these, I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit here. I have these from Best, and I know y'all seen these before if you've been following me for any amount of time. Best stains on the market, man. I don't know what else to say. I had a couple other companies. This was the ones I was using before, and I still use these. Not that, you know, I'm like, whatever, but the best stains literally are the best stains that I've used. I hadn't made any of my own stains. I think the thing that I made was like the India ink and alcohol, but that's not like stains. And then I like London Fog too, is one of the ones I'll use. Let's see if I can get some paintbrushes here. Alright, and so this is London Fog. I typically put this one down first because it's a lighter color. And then I typically go with like a murky brown or that aged barnwood. And honestly, with this this first layer, I just slather it on there. There's no measurement of anything. Just make sure it's really soaked in there. And it really doesn't even change the color that much. Again, it's a lighter color, but you can start seeing where, see those little nail holes right there? And then on each side. So there's something happening, but it's just not as drastic as if I was to put a darker stain on there, obviously. And then I'll take some murky brown, and then I'll just kind of, let's see, just dance around the edges here. And because the wood is already wet, it'll like bleed and blend a little smoother than it would if it was dry. Let's see. Y'all see that? I think I got too much light going on or something. So it's bleeding out a little bit, you know, and I'm fine with that. Now, if I wanted to paint these or like, because they're so small, I don't know if I'd pull out a whole sponge and start dipping around. I would just take a ratty paintbrush and do a stippling type of technique. And matter of fact, let's just do that real quick. I think I want, let's use, what color is this? Fresh cut grass. Seeing the wood is, of course, yeah, it blends really nice. I like it. What up, KB? I hadn't even used this green before, so I like it. And what I think I'm gonna do is grab some tape and we'll just do like halfway up the wall or a quarter of the wall or something. And so now when I start doing this dry brush slash chipping type of thing, I don't need to get a whole bunch of stuff. I can just dip it in here and go. And so there's even some paint down there. I don't even need to get like a palette or anything. I just dip a little bit in here. You all right? Okay. And since I have, sorry about that, y'all had to go check on my fiance. She was in there huffing and something. I don't know what was going on. All right, and so, see if I can get up here close and get this so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I got my paint, so now I can just go, or my tape, I can just go over this, you know, however I need to. I don't have to be very careful because it'll leave a nice clean line. But I have some green on there. I rubbed a little off on my paper towel just so it's not too aggressive, because I don't know what it's going to look like at first. So I take most of it off and then I'll just start dabbing around. And because the brush is round, kind of like a Q-tip head, it's not even. And that's kind of like what you do when you do with a sponge. You know, you don't want the paint to go on even. And that's all I'm doing here. Just, I didn't feel like reaching and trying to find a piece of sponge to tear off. And I'm just dabbing away at it, right? And so you get a chipping effect, and then you can just keep going and get, you know, as thick as you want as far as the paint, how many chips are happening in here. You're controlling it with the paintbrush. I'll do a little test up there just to make sure that I don't have too much paint coming off of the brush. And I mean, it may look like there's a lot of paint, but it's very little paint on this brush. And that way I can build up in layers. I can control how much paint goes on the wall a lot better. And I think that's the goal. You want to be able to control how much is going on here. And again, for here, I'm not too concerned because all that wood has already been chipped off. So my main target area is kind of like in this little section right here. I get a little more paint on the brush, and then I'll go over here and take most of it off. I'll start here and see how much paint I got happening on the brush. I think I'm okay with how much that is. And then I'll just come down in here and dab away. I'm also turning the brush too. I don't know if that is showing up on the video, but when I'm doing this, I'm like rotating the brush as well. So I can get a variety of hits, brush strokes, if you will. What up, Josh? Hey, yes, this is a kit. Thank you, folks. For those that are just joining, yes, this is a kit. This is Jason's first kit. And there was 2 of the same buildings in there. And I'm just weathering one of the walls. He just came out with a new kit, so I need to grab one of those. But I think I'm pleased with where this wood, as far as the paint. And then if we take the tape off, see we got a nice crispy line going across. We got some rotten happening down here. We got some clapboards that are lifted. Well, they actually went back down because I had the tape over them, but we can just lift those up pretty easy, hopefully, without breaking them. There it is. All right, get into focus. There we go. All right, so we got some clapboards lifted. We got some chip paint at the bottom and some wood rotting. And so here, I would probably put another coat of this London fog over everything, including the paint, which we can do real quick. Because now the paint has a tendency to be fresher than the wood itself, and so now I want the paint also to be weathered and hold like the wall. So now I need to go back and grab my brush. We'll just put another coat of that London fog on there. And I'm going right over that wood or the paint that we just done. And so that paint is, it's not fully dry, but it's dry enough to where the stain is not going to pick that up. And you can see it's still kind of light. It looks lighter on camera than I'm looking at it, but I can deal with that. And so now we can either leave this alone up top, and I'll typically focus more on the bottom. So now I want to get some black and some really dark browns and some powders all down in this area here. And I got my mixture of powder that I use, and don't ask me what the ratio or what. This is just dark brown and black and some other colors, a little rust that I mixed. And you can see it's almost gone, so I'll just have to make another batch of whatever this was. I always have my dirty thinner, so this is, looks like muddy water, but it's actually thinner. That's my dirty thinner. So when I know I want to mix, you know, any type of pigments or any type of oils or anything mixed in there with that, this is the thinner that I'll use because it's already nasty, so I don't want to mess up a whole fresh bottle. Since I'm talking about thinner, let's just go on and get some dark mud oil. Most of the stuff I use is from Ammo. In nature, the ratio always changes. Always. Hey, Wayman. Hey, what's up, Wes? All right, man. You take care. Get some sleep. I know you on the other side of the world. I appreciate y'all for hanging out, man. For real. So I'm gonna take some of this, and this is dark mud. Yeah. From Ammo, it's oil. So you can get regular oil paints too, right? You don't have to get the Ammo stuff. But I'll get a little on the applicator, and I'll be generous. I won't say I'll dab a whole lot on there, but I will be generous with these oils. And it's all within that damaged wood that's down there. I got my little ratty paintbrush, and then I'll just leave that paintbrush really loaded with thinner, and I'll start on the edge and work my way in. And then I'll just let it fade out. See that little fade right there? I'm gonna try and do another one here. Hold on. But you see that fade that happened right there? So I'm gonna try and do it while my hand is in the air with this spot right here. So I'll get some thinner. I'll start right in the center, and then I'll just let it fade out. Because I'm not too concerned if it fades all the way away. Like if you put enough thinner on here, the mark will go away. But you can always put more on there. So I'm not more totally concerned with it going away. I'm more concerned with how it fades on each end. And the same with this little spot. My macro lens. The next time I go live, I'm gonna get my macro lens so we can get tighter in. But again, I'm more concerned with the fade from like really dark and letting it fade out. So let's see. All right, I think that's a good angle. I'm gonna take my oil brusher, put some oil here. I want you to focus on that, bro. All right, cool. I think we got a good angle. Get this brush nice and soggy with some solvent, some thinner. I'm gonna come in here, and we just gonna. I'm really just letting the solvent do most of the work, right? See how that faded out like that? And again, this is just my way. There's plenty of ways to do what I'm doing. I didn't want that on there, so. And so now we really got some nasty, cruddy, bottom of the barrel wood happening here. I will get, let's see. I'll just keep going too. So how many layers we got here, right? Of weathering, not just the materials, but so we got the wood. Then we started with the pounce wheel. After that, we went with a knife and chopped up a lot of this stuff at the bottom. Lifted some clapboards. So that's like 2 or 3 levels or layers of weathering already. Then we put some stain on there, a couple layers of stain. We did some paint, done some oils. We thinned out the oils. I don't know. That's we up to about 10 or 11 different things so far, if my math is right. But I have some black stain. I thought you was moderating, ma'am. So I'm going to take the black and just dab the edges and let that stain soak its way in there. And see how darker it's getting on the edge? I'll do that on the bottom. Then I'll do it on this edge. And so I'll hit mostly on this, on like the sides, more than I will the actual clapboard, because I don't want it to overpower it too much. So now we got some black stain that's leaking into there. I think I'm gonna get some powder and mess around in there. What's in my powders? It's just a mixture of old powders that I've had, man. That's fine.
I hear you later.
Yeah, but you can't see the chat. It's just old powder. Just old powder, man. I don't know. So there's some ammo powder in here, but then I can't remember the name of these powders. I had got these a long time ago. And they came in like a 4-pack. But I can't remember the name of them. But it's just a hodgepodge of powder that I got mixed in here. No, they're actual powders. It's not chalk. So I have chalk too that I have scraped off somewhere. I don't know what I've done with it. But I will say, before I add these powders to the bottom here, you got to be very careful because this is really dark. Like I said, it's mixed with black, dark brown, and I think a bit of rust is in here too. And I think it's just obviously different. It'll obviously be different for each person of whatever mixture you're using. But I like putting powder on the bottom of here, on the bottom of the wall, because when that powder dries, it leaves a texture of dirt or mud or whatever it is, but there's a little cool texture that happens when that powder actually dries. So how I apply it is I'll dip my brush in the solvent and then I'll dip right into the powder just a little bit to see what I'm doing. And I'll just put some in there, and I'll treat it just like my bad. I'll treat it just like oils. Because I'll just go really light on the edges, and maybe here in the middle somewhere. Again, it's kind of dark, so. And what's cool about this is, so like, once you get some in here. There we go. So I got some here, but as you keep dabbing around, it gets lighter and lighter. So meaning there's not as much stuff on your brush anymore, and so now you can come all the way up here to start toning down some of that paint too. So I could dab around and push some of that stuff up there. And then I'll wet my brush again, dip a little bit, and then I'll come over here. And then I'll just fade some stuff around, you know? At this point, it's just user preference now. I know we've all seen enough rotted barns and houses and stuff. You're kind of just doing, you know, what you've seen and what references you've collected to make it look as close as possible to something that's been rotted. All right, and so now we got some powder on the bottom of that thing. Just a lens, whatever, just focus like I want it to. And so now we can even grab some powder in the old classic, you know, where the clapboards have been raised. You can put a little, like nasty water and stuff has dripped from there. Let's see. Let me get the right brush here. And so I have, I'm sure most of y'all do, I got 3 or 4 jars full of paintbrushes. I got a jar full of brushes for powder, then I got a jar brush full just for solvents and oils, and then 2 jars for different types of acrylics. So I got fine brushes for the fine stuff that I do, and then just some big massive brushes. And then I always go to Michael's and I get those packs of brushes for like $5 or $7.99 or something. Do you have a place where you like to get your ammo supplies? Actually, I'm sponsored by Ammo, so they give me stuff. But their website is pretty user friendly. You can change it to US, because I think the company is based out of somewhere in Europe. But yeah, you can check them out. Hey bro, you still have those box cards that you were conversing about? B&B. Hey, remind me, man. It looks like those containers. Yeah, I think that's it. It sounds very familiar. Monroe. Sorry, I was just answering some of the questions, y'all. But I'm going to put some here, some powder, and just pull it down. And then I'm going to pull it across a little bit too. And so when I pull it across under this one, I'm trying to indicate shadow under there as well. Even though the light source, wherever it's hit, will cast the shadow, I want to cast the shadow too. So we got a little bit happening there, maybe a bit too much here. But I'm okay with that. I can probably just grab some solvents and smooth it out just a little bit. Yeah. And so yeah, see, we took care of some of that. So it was too much for me that was dripping out of there. So I just grabbed my solvents and blended it in there a little bit. And now it's just even making this a little more dirtier, kind of what I wanted to do, to dull some of that green down. But yeah, we got some rotted walls happening here. And I like that the London Fog one, because the way it interacts with the wood, and I'll show it again, it's London Fog. It already starts to make this look like there's some mold or something happening up here. So that's why I typically don't go over some of that, because I like the way it makes it look really rotted and some black mold, stuff that's not really good for your lungs. Oh yeah, I think I replied back to you, man. For the Pac and Biggie, they're sitting on my layout. If I didn't, I'll look and I'll hit you back up here once we get done here. But I thought I replied back anyway. And I think I want to add just a little more powder and stuff towards the bottom. And this camera is not going to give you a really good view of how I want to show you. Like I said, I think the next time we'll do the macro lens, and then we can really zoom in and you can see all the little detail and stuff. So I don't know, I think that's it, y'all. And so I would do each of these walls the same way. And I would probably do them all. So I'll do all the nail holes, and then I'll do all the carvings at the same time, and I'll do the stains at the same time. But since I was going live, I just wanted to do one wall and kind of get it complete so you can see kind of what I do, y'all. I'll probably go live like once every other week or something like that, or 2 times out of the month. I don't know when, but I'd like to go live more often and chat with you all and share what I know, and then y'all can share what you know, so we all could grow. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I didn't want to hold y'all here too long. We have been going for an hour, and thank you all. Look for the video I got coming up here, hopefully in the next day or 2. Like I said, I did achieve the master model section for the structure, so I'm gonna do a little video of kind of how they graded and what they graded my stuff on, and then I have some video of them actually grading my work and giving me feedback, so I want to show that stuff too. But yeah, y'all take care, and I will see y'all on these internet streets. Peace out, y'all.